Grassroot supports an advocacy group in the Nigerian main opposition's People Democratic Party. The Concerned PDP League has described the minority National Working Committee members and Udeh-Okoye's visit to the Rivers State Governor on Wednesday as a rage-day hustling and failed agents of distraction and destruction. The group said the visit is of no significance because the acting national chairman and national secretary are not part of the visit because they are busy working for the party by attending the first inter-party meeting with the National Independent Electoral Commission. The National Treasurer, Ahmed Mohammed Yari, National Financial Secretary, Daniel Woyekikoro, National Woman Leader, Amina Aaron, National Legal Advisor, Kamaldeen Ajibade, and embattled National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, led by the National Treasurer, Ahmed Mohammed Yari, paid a visit to the Governor of Rivers State, Sasimlaye Fubara. During the visit, they claimed to have recognized him as the leader of the party and in the state and the group of Actions People Party members as purported PDP Caretaker Executive Committee members in the state. CPDPL, in a mockery Tessa statement signed by its Director of Media, Strategic Communication and Advocacy, Hajiya Hawa Ibrahim Magaji, mocked both the Rivers State Governor, the few National Working Committee members, and Udeh-Okoye's excitement over what she called the caricature visit. She said, Governor Fubara given PDP faithfuls and Nigerians the impression that he's aligning with elements of destruction whose intentions are to cause division within the party that gave him the platform today to be who he is. We are not truly surprised. Hajiya Magaji further blasts the Rebel National Working Committee members for the statement of recognizing the purported caretaker committee and the governor as the leader of the party in the state during their visit to the governor of Rivers State. She said, the Rebel National Working Committee members need to read again the PDP Constitution as amended 2017 to know that they don't have the power to do what they are doing. They are arrogating to themselves the powers they don't have. I therefore want to state emphatically that as a group, we have ceased to recognize Honorable Debo Ologunagba as the PDP National Publicity Secretary, and we stand for the following. 1. Honorable Aaron Chukwuemeka remains the Rivers State PDP Chairman and all state, local government area and Ward Executive Committee members elected on 27 July, 10 and 31st August 2024 respectively in consonance with the PDP Constitution as amended 2017 and the Electoral Act as amended 2022 as against the claim of Honorable Debo Ologunagba that His Excellency Barrister Chief Nyesom Wike remains the Rivers State PDP leader as against Honorable Debo Ologunagba's claim for very obvious reasons. 3. That Senator Samuel Anyanwu remains the National Secretary of our great party pending the Supreme Court judgment on the matter as against Honorable Debo Ologunagba's false claim, which has informed their gallivanting from one governor to another seeking for recognition as an impostor. It's a shame, a big shame, that this crop of National Working Committee members are falling short of the expectations of 99% of PDP faithfuls, she concluded. I'll start with you, Honorable Kingsley. Very strong statements coming from this PDP group against the National Working Committee, the faction of the National Working Committee that visited Governor Simlaye Fubara. But what do you make of their stand and what do you make of that visit?
Thank you. First, you know, as behavioral scientists, we think and perceive things differently. You know, like I've always said here, politics is political and is mainly of interest. You know, so some of the guys who talked about this matter, some said it's caricature, some said all they said. I don't see it like that.
Okay.
I only see it as political because it is politics.
Yes.
Every politician moves with interest. Their own interest might be that they want to support the governor, and that's exactly what they are doing. However, whether it is right or wrong in their own perception, that is left for them. But politically, the truth remains that the governor is struggling to hold something for himself. Before now, he may probably not have had the number of persons he has now in the National Working Committee. He has progressed to 7 of the members of the National Working Committee. That's his own struggle. He's struggling to hold something in the party. But looking at it from the angle of politics, there is no how the National Treasurer could lead a team of 7 to the governor and they call it the National Working Committee. It is not possible. In fact, as it is, we have the Deputy National Chairman, South, who is supposed to lead a delegation, if there should be any delegation outside the chairman. When he is not there, we also have the South Vice Chairman, who's also supposed to lead.
Because River State falls under
South, who was also supposed to lead a delegation of this magnitude. And when you are leading this kind of delegation, is led by a treasurer and 6 other members. The chairman is not there. None of the deputy national chairmen was among that delegation. The South chairman was not among the delegation. The secretary of the party is not among the delegation, and all that. You could see some level of charadness, if I could use that word, you know. But looking at it politically, because like I said, politics is all about interest. The governor is struggling to hold something at the National Working Committee. You don't blame him, that is politics. But saying that these 7 persons who came here were the National Working Committee members, I don't believe so. You know, I don't believe so. So I think that PDP, even though I'm a member of the All Progressive Congress, our prayers has always been what is happening. But I think that for the polity to be what it should be, and for my party to have a strong opposition, PDP really need to put themselves together. Seriously, they need to put it, because the time is very short. The politics for 2027 has begun. Between now and December, a lot will happen in the polity, because by next year, 2026, that's when parties will have their primaries and all that. So I think that the PDP should put their ass together. There is nothing that has happened in the party that should not be settled. Every politics is of interest, and so if their interest is this divergent at this particular time and point, it means that they do not even have what it means to stand as an opposition, not even the major opposition for 2027 general elections. You know, I want to beg the governor of Rivers State. Yes, he's trying, but he needs to do more. He needs to do more, because what he is doing is even dividing the party the more. Is dividing the party more, because he would want to stand a chance for a second tenure, or perhaps going for the ticket for a second tenure. So if he doesn't work hand in hand with the leadership of the party, at least the majority of the leadership of the party, now it will be difficult for him to secure a ticket from the political party which he claims to belong. You know, so I think he has a lot of work to do. For now, he has not really done anything. In all he's doing is factionalizing the party the more. Yes, he has the resources, and that's what he's struggling to do. But struggling to do it from behind is very dangerous in politics. So I think that he has all it takes now, with the enormous resources he's wielding, all it takes now to see how he could resolve this crisis from the top, not from behind, not from the bottom. You know, so whatever it takes, it will take him to do that. I think he needs to do that.
But then the concern would be when you said that this visit, one cannot say is the National Working Committee,
yes,
or a faction of the National Working Committee that, you know, paid that visit to the governor. One would say, in what capacity was that visit paid, considering that these persons are, you know, members of the National Working Committee? Even though one would say that the one of Udeh-Okoye is still controversial, because there is a court judgment restraining him from, you know, acting in the capacity of the National Secretary. But then when you look at it critically, in what capacity was that visit paid? Now, considering that Debo Ologunagba, to a large extent, Debo Ologunagba's statement, you know, having been refuted by the PDP, you know, national, has also, to a large extent, even further balkanized or further deepened the crisis in Rivers State. And I am talking of Debo Logunaba, self-appointing the Ewo-led caretaker committee in PDP in Rivers State.
Yes.
So these actions, even though not backed by the National Working Committee, has had consequences in Rivers State politics. Don't you agree?
Seriously. In fact, like I discussed with one of my friends, what these guys did are tantamount to either suspension or even outright expulsion from the party, because it shows a very high sense of disrespect for the leadership of the party. If they had come to Rivers State to visit the governor, for whatever reason they may have attributed to it, and not going to the extent of taking a decision, to the extent that they said the governor is now, they had now recognized the governor as the leader of the party. They also call themselves the National Working Committee of the party. If they had said some members of the National Working Committee had come to pay a visit to the governor of Rivers State and they stopped there, that would have somehow been manageable. But to the extent that they now said they are the real working committee, National Working Committee, they even went further to take decisions on behalf of the National Working Committee. These actions that they took are tantamount to either expulsion, or if the party even pleads or takes with leniency, you can say, okay, we are suspending them. I think they went very far, and they shouldn't have done that. And for governor of Rivers State, who knows the challenges he's facing in the party, to be supporting movements of this nature, I think he's not also doing well for himself.
Right.
He really needs to do more. That's why I said he really needs to do more. You don't take leadership issues from the bottom. You don't do that. That's a very high sense of disrespect for the leadership of that party. And I think he really needs to do more.
Right, we'll still come back to you, Kingsley. But before then, let me hear from Lawrence Obukoya. Well, Lawrence, what do you make of this visit of the faction of National Working Committee to the governor?
Yes, I have a word to throw in there. When we talk about the National Working Committee, taking it from another angle or another perspective, whereby in the family, we have principal leaders of the family. And these principal leaders has to do with the family head, the chief, the opinion leaders, and the family. You will never, for any reason, sell a particular land without the approval of the family head. Then if the family head sells a land also in the name of the family, now it remains voidable. Not void, but voidable. It can be voidable if the other principal family says no, the land you sold will never give you the authorization to sell the land. Then, if they say, okay, go ahead, then the land could be sold. Now, talking about the principal members of the National Working Committee of PDP, there is no how you can work or will agree with your enemy. The man who you feel that if this person is here, I never lose it. So the National Working Committee is divided. Having been divided, like the national chairman has a particular group he belongs to. The secretary and others have also some group they belong to, still in PDP. Now, if the other group who believe in the governor happens to say, let us go and visit our own, I think there is nothing wrong to say, we are giving you the mantle of leadership. By way of leadership, the PDP constitution has made it clear in 2017 as amended that any governor of the state automatically becomes the leader of that party. So there is no how you can, I'm the governor of the state and somebody is the leader. It doesn't happen. Now, take for instance from the ward where you come from. You are the leader of the ward, and then a councillor who you appointed decided to become the leader. Politically, he is the leader of the ward, but in terms of hierarchy, we recognize ourselves. You are the leader of the party who have appointed the councillor, or who have elected, who have or constituted the appointment of the councillor. Then does not make the councillor all and all of the party. So there are still people who makes him and who had made him. Now, Sim, the governor of the state, as the leader, as according to the National Working Committee or some of the group of National Working Committee, has decided to make him the leader. Then I think whether the chairman on National Working Committee accepts it or not, to them he is the leader. Then the National Working Committee might say, you know what, you're not our leader. We have so and so person to be our leader. And then until they have settled their differences, then they must have their settlement must come from the ground norm of the party, which is the party constitution, that is more supreme than every other person's decision or opinions. So we can't go outside the ground norm of the party. We must go in line, we must work in pari passu of the constitution we have made that should guide us and protect us. Not going outside the constitution. So the constitution have declared that Fubara remains the party leader until he exits the office. Prior before today, somebody was a leader. Prior before 2015, somebody was a leader. Now, during that period, when Odile was in power, Odile was a leader, and also as Odile exit the office, Amechi became the leader. Odile did not say, because I handed over to you, why must you become the leader? I'm still the leader. He bowed out. But his respect as a father still remains for him.
Okay, I want further clarifications on party leadership in political parties in a state, because I recall there was a certain time on my show we had that conversation. It was an ongoing conversation for over 2 weeks, and now that he has brought it up, I think it's time we also make that clarification. Now, I'm aware that in Benue State, Benue is a PDP state, and in Benue State, an APC governor. However, it appears that this the same crisis is happening in Benue State with George Akume, the SGF, being recognized in Benue State as the leader of the party. Meanwhile, Governor Hyacinth Alia is saying he's the leader, and some factions that are, pro Alia are saying Governor Hyacinth Alia is the leader, while pro Akume faction are saying the SGF is the leader. Now, that similar scenario is playing out in Rivers State, and when we were having these conversations, we used both APC states and PDP states, to make these comparisons. Now, one of the concerns that came up was, I asked that question: what does the party constitution say? Now, some of the party members that came on my show said that it is not in the party constitution.
It's a conventional thing.
I'm saying that because I've also seek clarification from Akumefile, considering that he is an APC card carrying member, So they said that it is not in the party constitution anywhere that the governor of a state is the leader of the party. That the leader of the party, according to the constitution, is the chairman of the party in that state. However, that there is this conventional, unwritten kind of code of conduct, more like the highest office holder, according to what they said, the highest office holder in a state becomes the automatic leader of the political party in the state. I want clarification on that.
Yes.
Does the party constitution say that the governor is the leader of the state? And if not, why this crisis going on?
Thank you. Most of the issues I discuss here, oftentimes I use the examples that I have been privileged to have passed through. Remember, we had an issue during the period of Amechi as minister and Senator Magnus Abe as a senator. Now, there has been this lingering crisis, not only in one political party, in almost every political party, of who should be the leader of those political parties. And now, by virtue of convention, parties have agreed to who their leaders should be. It is not constitutional. No party has written it in black and white as a constitution that so person should be their leader. It's being conventional. Now, my friend talked about Odili. As at the time Odili was the governor of Rivers State, there was no other person in PDP as at that time that was a senior political office holder. He nominated all the senators that went to the Senate as at that time. He nominated them. He sponsored them. They went to the Senate. Now, conventionally, he was seen as the leader of the party. when Amechi became the governor of Rivers State, from PDP through when he joined the APC, he was the leader conventionally, because almost every person, there was no faction as at that time. The family was united, and he perhaps in a way sponsored the elections of all the senators and all that. But when the crisis started, there was an issue here. Goodluck Jonathan was the president. The same Amechi who nominated Nyesom Wike as the ministers at that time started having problem with Nyesom Wike via the president. Okay, and Nyesom Wike started showing himself like another leader from his own faction. Some persons, like the people who are now with him today, the likes of let me not call their names, joined Nyesom Wike in that fight, probably because they had one or two gains they were getting from the president, and they started seeing Wike as their own factional leader, while the rest of the political party members in PDP started seeing Amechi as a leader, until finally they surreptitiously got hold of the party leadership through the courts, which removed late Udeh-Okoye and brought in Felix Obua. So, and when that happened, the party had divided. Then I went to the PDP, and Amechi remained in the APC. Okay, so when Amechi left office as the governor, now Wike became the governor of Rivers State in another party, and Amechi was in APC while Wike was in PDP. As at that time, we had no issues. We were still in one faction until the faction that was created by reason of the congresses came up in APC, and Magnus had a faction, and Amechi had a faction. And people in Magnus' faction were saying, you are the highest office holder, because a senator is higher than a minister. In the protocol of government, senators are up before you even talk about governors and ministers and all that. So people say, because you are a senator, you should be the leader of our party. But because of his kind of person, his nature, he said, no, I am not looking for leadership. I want to be governor. So anybody can be a leader. And that leadership that Amechi became while he was a minister was conventional. There was no constitution anywhere that said you are the leader of the party. And today, Nyesom Wike and his godson are having political crisis, political misunderstanding. And as it were, it has created factions in the party. And so some factions who are with Nyesom Wike are seeing Nyesom Wike as the leader, while those who are with him are seeing him as the leader. It is never constitutional. However, it has been a standard in convention that the governor should be the leader. But it is not in the position of factions of the National Working Committee. Again, remember, they are minority. In politics, it has always been the majority that takes the decision, while the minorities will complain. In everything politics, if it is not majority, you don't have anything. Today, the crisis Sim is having in the State Assembly is because he is in control of the minority. Even the court, the appellate court have said you cannot work with 3 persons against 27. In a house of 32, you have 3. That's minority. Now, in a National Working Committee of 18, and 7 persons came and pronounced you leader, even if the chairman were to be there, and the remaining 11 I said, no, you are not, that is not how it will work, because that is the majority. Again, the leadership of every political party is controlled by the chairman and the secretary of the party. These persons are not in consonance with what they did. The 3 deputy national chairmen are not in consonance with what they did.
The national chairman and the South
chairman, they are not in consonance with what they did, and just few persons came and pronounced somebody a leader, assuming without conceding that he is the leader. But the fact that there has been factions and issues, and this thing has been lingering, these persons do not have what it takes in law, in constitution, in party arrangements, whether conventional or whatever, to come to Rivers State and pronounce the governor, whether they are with him or not. They can still show that they are with him without making such pronouncements. In fact, like I said, that pronouncement alone could give them total expulsion from the party, because they have gone far against the constitution of the party. There is nowhere in the constitution of any party, be it PDP, APC or ABGA, that gave rise to a treasurer, a national treasurer of a party, where you have the chairman, the deputy chairman, the zonal deputy chairman and all that, for a treasurer with few members to come to pronounce or take a decision for the entirety of the party. It is not done. Even the National Working Committee, if they were even led by the chairman cannot make such pronouncements if it is not ably approved by the NEC. Whatever decisions that a National Working Committee takes in every matter has always been decisions that were approved by the National Safety Council, and they now delegate their powers to the NWC to take such decisions. But in this case, not even the NEC, not even the National Working Committee, as ably led by the chairman and the secretary, few persons, surrogates in that matter, will come to a state and begin to make pronouncements for the entirety of the NWC. That was how would I even put it? They went too far.
Is that anti-party activity?
Completely, no, they are the same party. Not an anti-party matter right
so
now.
It is not an anti-party
but it is,
matter.
yeah, it is not an anti-party.
Not in the interest of the national.
Not in the interest of the party, not just national. The interest of the party. Party is just one. No state has a party. Parties are registered at the national. And so, for the interest of that party, the PDP, like I said again, I want to say for the 10th time, they really need to put their hands together. And most importantly, the people who needs something to gain from the party, like the governor of Rivers State, because if he continues like this, he may not have a party for 2027.
Now, if I may understand, because right now in Rivers State, it appears that there are 3 factional leaders in Rivers State PDP. Now we have that of Aaron Chukwemeka that emerged through a congress, but a court has annulled that and appointed Edwin Woko and Lovo Tunye and 2 others to be executives of the state.
Of the state.
Yes. So Edwin Woko is the court-appointed executive chairman of Rivers State PDP. And then we have the Debo Ologunabo self-appointed chairman of EWO. Yes. So now, the more this crisis is lingering, the more PDP in Rivers State is even balkanized. Right. Now, how do we see this playing out in 2027, considering what happened in Edo State and how PDP lost out in Edo State? Right, even towards the election period, very close to the election, you saw big wigs like that not be leaving, Ibenedion leaving. You could see the big wigs, the people who had grassroots power. They left in their droves with their people, and to a large extent, that eventually affected PDP in Edo State. APC was able to mend fences. PDP was not able to mend fences. Labour Party was not able to mend fences. And to a large extent, PDP was affected. How do you see that playing out? Even though the dynamics in Rivers State appears to be very different from the political dynamics in Edo State, but it's still the same level of balkanization that is going on. And now it is being worsened by the activities of persons at the national level. How do you see that playing out for PDP in 2027?
Yes, first, I think that the governor, being that he has a major stake and he has interest for 2027, needs to rejig his strategy, because first, the moment the court gave that judgment recognizing Woko and his group, the governor's people and himself applauded that judgment, received them as their own party leaders. Few days after them, Debo now came in and now said, my friend Ewo and his people are now the leaders of that, and the governor now also applauded. So the question is, which faction is he even supporting? Is it the Woko or the Ewo's faction?
But the interesting thing is that since then, after Ewo was announced by Debo Ologunabo, Edwin Woko has been silent.
Which means there is a
conspiracy.
Not just conspiracy, because this conspiracy is against them. You know,
we actually
yes, it's a serious damage to him. That's why I said he really need to he really need to rejig his strategy, because the time is running. There is no time in Rivers State today. What we have today in Rivers State as PDP, my dear, if we continue like this, there's really going to be a serious problem. And I think that the person who should be either the major beneficiary or major loser is going to be the governor. So he really needs to re-strategize and rejig his strategies, because I see him daily going down the drain in this his political calculation. So I think that he really needs to do something. What happened in Edo State might even be less to what will happen in River State. What happened in Edo State might be less what will happen. Remember, the governor of Edo State was already on his way out. You know, but this one now, you want to go for a second tenure. So it might be grievous. So I think that he really needs to do something very, very. The strategy he is bringing in, for me, I'm a politician, I don't think these strategies are workable. I don't think so. Perhaps he really needs some strategists to help him, you know, reorganize the strategies he's using, so that he could be maybe partially within 45% of preparedness before 2026. Because the moment he hits 2026, and
there's no more time.
There won't be any time.
Because that will be party politics.
The party politics, primaries. So that's what I think.
All right, Lawrence. Now, I'll still ask you the same question, because I need to know what you think about, you know, this factional leadership in PDP in Rivers State. The fact that we have one that emerged via congresses according to the constitution, but have been set aside by the courts, though it's been appealed. But then the court now appointed the appellants to that matter, which is Edwin Woko, Lovotonye, you know, as Edwin Woko particularly as the chairman of PDP in Rivers State. And after that appointment, Debo Ologunagba, who is the publicity secretary, came out to appoint by himself led caretaker committee. Now, the court said Edwin Woko is the PDP chairman in Rivers State. The one that Debo, you know, appointed, he called them caretaker committees in Rivers State. Now, the governor has, you know, acknowledged Edwin Woko, and the governor also acknowledged that of Debo Ologunagba, which leaves us at a crossroad.
Okay, I think I have my idea there is that, or my scene there is that the governor and the AWOL-led faction are in line with the governor. Also, Woko, is it Woko what?
Edwin Woko, yes.
Yes. So he's also in alliance with the governor. That is why he was able to recognize the two factions. Because, you know, in politics, I see that even though we're not politicians, but at least we analyze politics. Without politics, we know what politics is all about. I see that sometimes Wike today is not an APC. He's not an APC member. But his body politics plays APC. His full body plays PDP. Now, in case the team falls from this way, enters this way, I am not losing. It falls the other way, I am not losing. That is what the governor has played. And that is what every politician does. Remember...
now, you recall that the EWO-led PDP caretaker committee appointed by Debo, that the National has come out, PDP has come out to debunk that.
It was National who appointed.
And they said, no, it wasn't the National. That's what I'm trying to explain. The National has no hand in that appointment. Debo Ologunagba, as the publicity secretary, came out to make that announcement. And the PDP, you know, National, through the deputy publicity secretary, Ibrahim, came out to, you know, debunk that, and also, you know, called out Debo Ologunagba. Because when Debo was saying that, Debo was speaking in the capacity of PDP publicity, National Publicity Secretary. However, when the Deputy Publicity Secretary was speaking, he said that the National Working Committee has not convened to even, the National Working Committee has not even considered that court judgment, not to mention taking a decision on it. You understand? So Debo Ologunagba acted as a person, not even as a member of the National Working Committee. Now, the Ewo-led caretaker that Debo appointed, he appointed as Debo Ologunagba and not as PDP National Publicity Secretary, and not as, and he was not empowered by NWC. Do you understand the thing here now with the Ewo-led? The Ewo cannot, do not get their power from PDP. They got their mandate, not even power in this instance. They got their appointment from not even Publicity Secretary. They got the appointment from Debo Ologunagba. When you say Publicity Secretary, it means that he was acting based on the powers of the National Working Committee. So he acted as a person. That's what PDP said. He acted as a person, not in the capacity of National Working Committee. So Debo appointed them, not the PDP.
You see, PDP, Ologunagba, are the National Publicity Secretary, is working with the governor of the state, and he will do everything to protect him. Now, you know, he holds a stake in the National Working Committee. The Deputy Publicity Secretary of the PDP National is not working with the governor. So there is every tendency that when this one gives his order, the other will come to counter.
How so?
What I'm saying so is that the National Working Committee have not sat.
Is the National
Working Committee?
No,
National Working Committee.
No, is the National Publicity. When you say countering, it appears he has.
He's the deputy.
No, he's not even the. Listen, we have the National Chairman. We have the National Secretary. He is the National Publicity Secretary. Now, when it comes in order of hierarchy, he's not even a principal officer of the National Working Committee.
Sure.
He's not a principal officer, right?
Yes.
Now, it would have been a major crisis to a large extent if the secretary is speaking or the chairman spoke. And even in that instance, when the chairman speaks without the backing of the NEC, the resolution of the NEC is still an issue. So now the PDP has come out to say Debo did not act as National Publicity Secretary. When you act in that capacity, it means that you have the backing of the NWC. But in this instance, he acted as Debo Ologunagba, an individual. Now, which brings to the concern of the governor, backing Ewo. You understand me? Backing Ewo, can Ewo link his legality? Can he link or claim legality of being the PDP caretaker in Rivers State from national? Now, how do you be a leader when you don't even get correspondences from the national? You understand? If national, let's say national is to hold another congress, will Ewo be consulted? Do you understand? Let's even look at it from the other angle. That the PDP decides to, the National Working Committee decides to accept the judgment of the court. Are you aware that the National Working Committee, it still lies on them or behoves upon them to still appoint caretaker pending when that matter is resolved? And they can still choose to appoint Aaron Chukwuemeka. And they can still choose to appoint every other person. What the court says is restraining PDP from recognizing Aaron Chukwuemeka as the chairman because of that Congress. However, that is on one hand. The PDP, the National Working Committee, can still say, okay, we accept that judgment. However, Aaron Chukwuemeka is appointed as the PDP caretaker committee chairman. It is not against that judgment. I'm just trying to say something that can Ewo lay claim to his legitimacy from the National Working Committee? If no, the governor backing Ewo up, does it solidify his structure in Rivers State?
Do you know that the court also did not give any power to any of the factions? to say you are the acting
the court
chairman.
did.
Eh?
That's where Edwin Woko comes in. Do you understand?
I don't get it.
Edwin Woko was the person that took this matter to court.
Edwin Woko.
Love Otoye. So now one of the prayers in court, apart from annulling the congresses, was that the court should recognize them as the executives of PDP in Rivers State, and the court granted that prayer. Yes.
Court granted that relief to
Edwin Woko.
To the Edwin Woko. Now, there is no other, no matter how highly placed in the National Working Committee, that would have countered that which court has already granted. So, if Onogunagba, on his personal capacity, decide to recognize Ewo, I think it's done and void, ab initio. Now, if also the National Working Committee recognizes any other faction outside that of the court, or the recognition of the court, is also non and void ab initio.
Now the question, now that brings us to another question. What Congress did Edwin Woko emerge that gave him, you know, because I mean, it's just like when you're going to a tribunal, let's say election tribunal, you can only petition the outcome of an election if you are a participant of that election.
Now, if the issue that what I would say there, what I would want to respond to that is that on that ground, the party must have to align with Edwin Woko. They must have to.
Did he emerge from a Congress?
If he emerged from,
are you privy to party constitution?
No.
Okay, very well. Now the party constitution says that executives emerge from party congresses. Now, Edwin Woko at no point in time, that's why I'm looking at River State crisis and how complicated everything is. Edwin Woko at no point in time contested, did not attend the congresses.
He never attended.
Even let's even say previous congresses. Now, he was never at any point in time, to the best of my knowledge, known as a chairman, even a factional one.
Yeah, okay.
So the question now is, the court recognizing him, what is the locus? Can the court set aside the party constitution, considering Supreme Court precedents, judgments, that the court cannot interfere in party internal affairs? Now, congresses of a party are party's internal affairs. Can the court impose leaders on a political party, leaders that did not go through the process?
Now, in Woko's matter, now I will say that for court to have pronounced him, I think he remains the chairman. Then outside that, the background, what gives him the locus to stand upon, then claiming the chairmanship, or maybe asking the court to give him the caretaker committee chairmanship or something. Now, you know, court is not a Father Christmas whereby they will not give you what he did not ask for. It is only this Woko who was able to say, I declare me the chairman, or the acting chairman of the PDP here in the state. Now, Woko had not for once seen himself or announced himself as the factional chairman, or one time recognized as a chairman, outgone or present or whatever. But then he has seen it that maybe it is his own right. He should be able to go in for that.
All right.
That even if it is not his right, but we have asked the court, and court granted his relief.
All right.
So it is not of the National Working Committee to say no or yes.
Okay. Very well. Very well. Honorable Akumefle,
yes. The truth is you made mention of the Supreme Court judgment that gave powers to the party's internal affairs to remain within the party. Okay, and this judgment didn't come once. It came more than once, or even more than twice. And this has been the reason for which parties have claimed that no matter whatever judgments that courts give, contrary to whatever decision they have come up with, they won't obey those decisions. Because the Supreme Court, being the arbiter of court in the country, have said that parties are supreme. And so now, when that judgment of Moko came, everybody in River State shouted. Who is even working? As I talk to you, I don't know him. I don't even know the other lady. They are not even people that are known to have played party politics in Rivers State. Nobody knows them. And now they went and surreptitiously got a judgment that pronounced them. And the party said, no, we don't know you. And they have gone to set aside that judgment and now appeal that judgment. Like she said, the party reserves the right, even if court has said Chukwemeka Eron is no longer the chairman. Party also reserves the right to reappoint him as caretaker pending the determination of these matters in court. And so, while that was going on, one single entity in an 18-member National Working Committee come out to pronounce somebody a caretaker and all that. That's an aberration.
Now,
okay? That's an aberration. So I think that these matters are within the PDP. And so, me being a member of another political party who even want PDP to die should not be the one that will solve their problem. I think that PDP should go to look for a way to solve their own internal crisis. But the strategies the governor is deploying, that's my concern, will not help him. I have been in party politics since 1999. And by the grace of God, I participated in so many party political issues. And I feel that the governor is missing it here. In fact, day by day, he's shrinking by the strategies he's deploying. I think he really needs to rejig his strategy, like I said before. Okay? So, I understand that you are not knowledgeable of the party politics. And that's why you are not even able to meander within the questions that this woman is trying to put to you. However, when you go home today, because you have said you are not a politician, and so I think that when you come again, discuss issues that are not political, especially when you have politicians, go and study party politics. You must not be a politician, but you can still have political interest. Okay? This issue of PDP affairs in Rivers State, it seems you don't have hold of them. Okay? So I think that you need to have hold of them.
Lawrence, it's more of a man who believes in the rule of law.
Good.
And which I applaud, and I always stand on my show.
Good.
Now he's saying, since the court has said this, the court order should be obeyed, regardless of whether it's against the party constitution or not. But it should be obeyed. Then the party can do what they need to do if they want to vacate it.
And somehow,
this is where he's coming from.
He's also diving to the support of the governor.
That's his opinion.
But is that rule of law?
Counts.
But that is said, it stands by the rule of law.
Let me just
go ahead,
sir.
You see, telling me that I'm not knowledgeable in politics, I think it's
political matters. Sorry.
It's quite insulting.
Sorry.
And again, in politics, like I didn't get when she said that the court declaration had been set aside. I didn't get it when you said that. If I have gotten what she said as setting aside the order, then I should have known what to respond towards that. Now, one can play politics in 100 years, but after which, somebody who just began yesterday or who just began today will overtake the person. So it doesn't matter how many years you've been in politics.
Overtaking is allowed.
From 1999, I've been in politics. I contested my ward as a councillor in 2018. Also, I contested as a chairman.
So you say you're not a politician? So you're a politician.
I think I should have that knowledge about politics.
Then don't say you're not.
Don't say you're not a politician.
What I'm saying is that I have decided to quit politics.
Okay.
You are no longer.
And then hold on to my profession.
Right.
So that if it comes to Wike and another person, if Wike is at the right position, we should tell him he is the person doing the right thing. If governor is the person doing the right thing, we should also tell him he's doing the right thing. Now, we should be able to use our thinking faculty to know that what is moral is moral, what is immoral is immoral. No matter how politics could meander and then bring in immorality into moral livings. Now, if the court have set aside the judgment, yes, I agree with him. The party has the exclusive right to appoint even the person they have sacked to remain there under acting capacity until or pending when this matter had been resolved neither in court or out of court. Then outside that too, the governor is playing his own politics. the way he feels he can play it. Nobody can tell him he's not playing it well. That is how his understanding is. That is how people are. He follows people's advice. He is today working with 3 members of House of Assembly. We can one time work with 6 members of House of Assembly members. Did heaven fall? Heaven never fall. Now, he appointed me to be the manager of this place. Allow me run the affairs of this place. If I bankrupt the place, I should be held responsible. I should be held liable on running down the place. Now, if the governor is doing what he feels, nobody should question him for that. The only thing we should stay aside, we are the watchers, and then watch his movement. Either he's not doing, we criticize him. The National Working Committee, whether if the number of the National Working Committee are divided, there is no 2 ways about it. They are divided. Is it the first time the National Working Committee have gotten divided? During the Ahmadu Sharif, didn't see what happened. We thought that PDP would have been buried that time.
Now, see the concern that Kingsley Akumefule has that he's talking about. Now, he's talking about time for party primaries, because all these things are alignments and realignments in political interest. Now, can Ewo led committee appointed by Debo Ologunagba, can Ewo, sell interest forms?
If he has interest for?
No, that's not the question I asked. I said in 2026, okay, when time for party primaries, are in full gear, and there will be need for primaries to be conducted, can Ewo sell PDP forms in the state?
Well, that I don't know, because Ewo himself, I think he was the acting chairman during, I think that early period. I'm sure whether he was the chairman, acting chairman or so, before now.
It was Aaron Chukwuemeka.
Yeah, it was Chukwuemeka who was the acting chairman before he was made a substantive chairman. Exactly. During Congress, the Congress.
Yes.
Now, Ewo himself, I think I have not heard about him.
Ewo is the person appointed by Debo Ologunagba.
Okay,
that's the question I'm now asking.
Now.
Can he sell? Yes.
I mean, before now.
Yes, he has been in the ESCO. He has been vice chairman Rivers West.
Okay.
When Aaron was chairman.
Yes. I have not seen him acting as a personal chairman of the PDP from time. Not until
he has not
until Ologunagba, on his own personal capacity, announced to him. Because if I say appointment, it's as if the appointment is a substantive, which is not. So he on his own decided to announce to him based on his own personal reasons. And now, if Ologunagba has done that, I think he have done that in error. Ologunagba did that in error, because he, as a single man, you today, you can be the manager of this place. You have director, you may have chairman. Now, because you are the manager, you just come up and say, I have approved this person to become the managing director. This person, you are going to, without the consent of your executives. It can't stand.
It still boils down to the question I asked earlier when you were talking about the governor playing the politics the way he understands. Now, Akumefule is saying that this strategy is not strong enough to make the governor scale through, politics in 2026. Now, embracing Woko, embracing Ewo, the question now is their legitimacy. Can they sell? That's why I just asked. That's like the most fundamental. That everybody can claim I'm this and that, but there will be a day when the true leader will come out, and the true leader will be the persons backed by the national. That's why I asked the question: can they sell party forms, or is Debo Ologunagba going to print out special party forms, or are these factions going to provide their own party forms? Because the River State will get their party forms like every other state from the national. Can Ewo, appointed or like you said, announced by Debo, can he sell party forms to aspirants?
He cannot.
In River State.
He cannot do that, because he is not. The form comes from the national. You don't print it here. The form comes from the national, and then by the time Ewo claiming to be the acting chairman of the PDP here in the state, is not in agreement or in alliance or consonant with the national.
So now the register, because now that brings me back to the issue with PDP, and that is part of what the 27 lawmakers are building on in their case.
Yes.
You know, because now Tony Okocha has a party register recognized by the national.
Yes.
Emeka Beke has a party register not recognized by the national.
Recognized by the court.
Recognized by the court. The court does not recognize party register. We are talking about documents now. Now, Tony Okocha receives resolutions, decisions, instructions from the national. Emeka Beke does not. Now, at the end of the day, these things translate to day-to-day running of the state. And the concern that I have is, how is the governor going to scale through this in 2026?
Okay.
How is he going to scale through this in 2027? Or is there maybe something that we...
Now I understand where you are going.
You understand where I'm going to.
Now,
go ahead.
Let me tell you that before time, that is what I mean, before then, this matter must have been resolved. You see, that is why, even though maybe he's denied ticket, he has every right to pick ticket from any other party. Because as it stands,
are you even aware that APP, even though this litigation is not being publicized, APP right now might face expulsion from INEC?
Serious one.
Because there is a matter going on challenging APP's legality. Now, Electoral Act has it that political parties, to be considered legitimate political parties in the country, must have won elections at the national level, at the state level, and at regional levels. Now, APP does not.
Don't win it. APP does
you
not
can't mention APP in national. You can't mention them in regional. You can't mention them in state. It's just this local government elections.
Yes.
And the local government election is still under litigation, so we are not yet sure as at now. Do you understand? So the question will be, the governor pitching tent with a political party, unless probably Labour Party, but I'm just trying to understand which of them and how strong are they now and how widely spread. Is a choice of APP by the governor a wise one?
That is exactly what I'm trying to say. I was reading the Electoral Act yesterday night. Now, I discovered that if with this problem that is coming up in APP, they might be delisted by INEC. Now, but does not mean that outside APP there is no other party that the governor can clinch his ticket or can clinch a ticket from. Now, the governor, as he is today, might decide to quit. Nobody knows what he wants to do. He might also decide to go and say, okay, since I don't have this power, I don't have the requisite power to grab ticket in PDP, he can shift ground to another party.
Okay.
We have some other local political parties that can give him ticket. Abga is there. Abga has the listing. What they call Labour Party is there. So there are parties that are even looking for him. But have it that there is no how this matter will not be resolved in favor of the governor
before 2027.
Yes,
before 2026.
Before 2027. Even before next year ending.
Next year ending, isn't that too late?
2026. There is every possibility that this.
You know that the political calendar started ticking immediately after elections. And as it stands now, as of last year, actually, politicians have started alignments and realignments.
Yes.
As at now, they are testing the waters.
Still on.
The thing is, they are testing the waters. Talks of mergers and all that. When you say it will be resolved before 2027, what I mean by that PDP is going to survive. PDP has 2025.
You see, there is every chances that this matter might end in favor of this man, because what we are talking is about the national.
All right, very well. Akumefile, what do you have to say?
Let me just say something. Sorry, you misunderstood me, and I never meant you are not knowledgeable of politics. I said the politics of Rivers PDP. That was what I said, and you misunderstood me. Again, I didn't know I was meeting a prophet. Maybe after now I'll meet you privately so you could profiles and solutions to my challenges. Having said that, definitely these crises are going to be in favor of the governor. That was what he said. And I think that is commendable. Thank you for bringing a prophet. You didn't say it was possible, but he said you are sure it's going to be in favor of the governor. Okay, thank God he said that.
So,
what I am saying, sir, is this.
It's under probability. He might end in his favor. It may end in his favor.
If you have said, you are just saying this now, and I applaud that. The real issue we are talking here is not that the governor is not playing politics. Like I said in my beginning, in my intro, I said politics is political. And I'm not against whatever everybody said, because that could be their perception to it. But remember that we are talking about 2027, like she said. Even if the governor would want to go to another party, it is still now. There's a photographer in my place. Whenever I want to take a photograph, he want to snap you, he will tell you, stay well, what he's saying,
do you know if he has started?
We are here in this.
You don't know.
We are here playing politics. And every politician strategizes for the future. And so as you are also strategizing, you are watching your opponent if he is also doing something. And so as politicians, we are watching what our opponents are doing. Remember, he is our major opponent, because we want to take over the brick house in 2027. So we're doing everything to watch all the things he's doing. Like, I want to let you know today, he's not doing anything. Even the strategies he's using, for me, is a cake. And it is not even contemporary. They can't work in today's Nigerian politics. And so that's why I have always maintained that he needs to rejig his strategies. If he's hearing me, or you can take it to him, that he really needs to rejig his strategy. If you would even stand a chance of contesting, not even winning. Because, like, you know, you can make all the do everything. When he gets to buying forms, that would be a problem. Remember, there was a revalidation exercise done by PDP. That matter had not been handled. That matter, somebody from the National said, no, they've cancelled it. That matter went to court. And that matter is still in court. When these things will happen, it will be like willy-willy. A lot of matters are in court today. I'm telling you as a politician, a lot of them, they are just kept there in the incubation. When they will come up, you will be surprised that even the governor will not even be able to handle those matters. I said again, let him go and look at his strategies and rejig it, because the time is running very fast. He may not catch up with the time, except he is a prophet. Was the prophet in the Bible that ran and met up, except he is that prophet.